This is my trip to Vietnam, 1971 to October 1972. And as you can see right there, I was 19 years old and thin. Isn't that wonderful? Here comes Sherry Lynn, my niece, my sister Sandy, and her husband Bob, my brother-in-law. That's my sister Linda with Sherry. And there's Bob. This is on the way to the airport. That's the plane getting ready to take off. First thing I did was fly to Cam Ranh Bay in Vietnam. And was there for 3 days. And they sent me up to Camp Evans, which was 30 miles from the demilitarized zone, which is the split between North Vietnam and South Vietnam. After 11 days up there, I came to this right here. This is Camp Eagle in Da Nang. And that's my friend George Reichert. 3 days before I got here, they had rocketed the place and threw shrapnel up against the mess hall. And the whole 4 months I was there, nothing happened except we had a typhoon. This is a pretty good view of the perimeter. The things you're looking at, the humps and the cement, are actually graves. The whole place we were stationed in was called the City of Graves, Hue. And you can see the sandbags on top of the roof to keep the wind from blowing the roof off. It was just corrugated tin. That's the mess hall I was telling you about. That's our shower, believe it or not. There's the mess hall again. Guess who that handsome fellow is? And this is where we had our entertainment. Doesn't this look wonderful? That was where we got our cuts fixed. That was the main commander's office there. That was our mail room, believe it or not. We had Vietnamese military or Vietnamese civilians working in our mess hall. This is also the 101st Airborne Division, in case you're wondering. The Vietnamese are real shy about having their picture taken. They say that it captures their soul. So every time you see them, they're running away from you. That's the Cobra helicopter. That was the hot machine in Vietnam, most feared. A little relaxation. My first time playing soccer. He's terrible at it. Hey. Right behind me is the hooch, where I hung out at. These were the X's were the days I had already done, and the rest were the days I had left. Don't ask me who that is. That was my airborne mouse. That was my guitar. I got it shipped from Japan for $40. Those were the malaria pills. You took those and they made you go to the bathroom for 3 weeks. And after 4 months, I moved down to the 501st Battalion, Signal Battalion. I basically worked as a teletype operator, and I spent the last 9 months I was in Vietnam at this compound. This is right at Saigon, Tan Son Nhut Air Force Base. It was a little messy. You can see how dry everything looks. This is right at the beginning of the dry season, before the monsoon. Later in the film here, you can see how the grass has grown up from all the water and the rain. That place right there is where I worked at. And believe it or not, Reichert moved along with me. He was an architect from Connecticut, I believe. The peace sign was always big. That's two of the compound's dogs, Angel, the big one, and Tripper, the small one. You'll see Tripper grow up as the film progresses. That was our sergeant. That was Webster. This is a cathedral that we were was right outside the compound, and in the 68 offensive, they blew the steeple out of it completely. They had a machine gun nest up there. These are workers leaving the compound after the end of the day. This is the water tower in the compound that some guys decided to crawl up one day. They were bored and check out the scenery. In a moment, you'll see some film from the top of the tower, and of course, I didn't do it. I had somebody else do it. And what better way to get down the thing but to crawl down the side of the pipe? I didn't say these guys were intelligent. That's Dave Smith on the left there. He was engaged to my sister, believe it or not. He left for the Army a month before I did, and we ended up in the same place after basic training, AIT, and my first 4 months in Vietnam. This is the Tan Son Nhut Air Base from the top of the tower. You can get a good look at where we hung out at. Airplanes landing at Tan Son Nhut. Even Spiro Agnew came in there one time to inspect the troops.